Hey Vanni, how you doing today?
Good, Michael. How are you?
Good. Um, so Saturday's game that's coming up, it's two teams that are still to find the back of the net this season. What are you expecting from this one? Do you think it's going to be two teams that are just going to go for it, or do you think it's going to be a bit of a cagey affair?
It's a good question actually because we've seen the first two games of Houston, and they've been quite, I would say, waiting for the opposition and try to counter, not pressing too much, not throwing a lot of numbers up, but being very, I would say, even very well structured to be honest, but not that aggressive. So we are actually thinking, okay, they're gonna keep because they didn't play bad games, but or maybe they're gonna try to be more aggressive and throw more numbers at the pressure at us. So for sure, we what we want to see of our team is kind of continuing the trend that we created at BC Place last game, with the fact of being very fast in our build up and trying to establish possession in their half, because that's the only way for us to try to create goal chances. And we know that with the goal chances, the goal is going to arrive.
Defensively, Houston in their first two games, they've looked pretty solid. They've only given up that one goal as well, but they seem to be struggling to get much going offensively. Their brightest sparks felt like being Quintero off the bench for the last couple of games. Do you see them possibly making changes for this one, or do you think you know what you're going to expect from them?
Well, we don't know. We actually today we tried some solution, and we tried against this two structure that they're gonna play. So if they're gonna keep the 4-3-3 with two wingers very wide, then only Ferreira as a number nine. But also we tried actually also with against the number 10 if Quintero's gonna play. So they're gonna play probably with two midfielders and a number 10 behind the nine. So we'll see. The most important thing for us is, and actually, the nice thing for us is that we never change anything defensively because we work completely zonally on the ball and the space. So it doesn't it's not important how the other team looks in their shape. It changed something in the area that we want to expose offensively, but the most important thing is that we need again, say it again, to keep doing the thing that we started to do last week, playing really fast in build up, having more option for the ball carrier, and trying to establish possession in their half.
Cheers, Fanny.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. We'll go to Joshua Ray.
Hi, Vanny. Just want to get your thoughts on Thomas Asal being named to the MLS Team of the Week.
I'm very happy for him. It's not a surprise because Thomas is, we said every time, he's a very good goalkeeper. So, and he did a good performance. I would say he did a fantastic performance as a mature goalkeeper because he didn't have he didn't have to do 300 saves, but he had to do two very difficult saves, and especially the one at the end after 65 minutes that he didn't have to make anything, 70 minutes that he didn't have to make anything because the other two interventions that he did was in the first 10 minutes. It showed us how mature he is and how focused in the game he is. And the thing that I liked a lot is the fact that he really managed very well the build up, understanding when to play long, when to play short last game. So I think it's a testament on how him and Youssef are working, and we need to keep going in this direction.
And you spoke about the build-up needing improvement after the game last week. And how are you working with the squad in training to improve the build-up?
Yeah, we work with small tactical sided situation, 11v11, trying to correct video. we try to do everything. We try to rotate every player, being creative, and try to be the way that we play in our build-up is very, I would say, automatical with scripted movement. They're very that they have to be very very well rehearsed during the week. So the more we rehearse and the better we rehearse, the better the build-up is gonna get out. It's like it was our result last year, and hopefully it's gonna be the result this year.
Thanks, Vanni.
You're welcome.
Joshua, we'll go to JJ.
Konnichiwa, Vanni.
Ohio or like me? No, it's 12:39. So konnichiwa.
I know it's a really small sample size, and two very different situations in the first two games. But just one shot on target so far. How much of a priority has that been for you this week when it's come to arranging your game plan?
It's not too much a priority. The fact that we had one shot on target, it's a priority to arrive much more in the final third. I think that the shots are gonna naturally arrive if we are in the final third. And I like to count the goal chance and instead of the shot on target. Okay, because if you look like one, it seems that we only had one chance last week, and actually I think we had at least three. So, but we need to have more than three. We need to have maybe 5 or 6 chances when we are able to shoot a goal in close to their goal, close to their box or within their box. So we need to work more in order to arrive more there, and then the goal will arrive.
All right. So you mentioned quite a few times about the build-up. Is that the build-up in the final third? Is that something that you guys are going to be sort of focusing on?
Well, the main focus is to arrive there. Then, let's go by degree. After the first game, we never went out of our midfield, so the focus was to go to at least to break the first line and go in the midfield. And we did it in the second game. Now the third game is okay. When we establish possession there, try to be going towards the solution that we work on in order. Because I'll give you an example. We had 3 or 4 potential chances in the game against New York because we didn't do the thing that we tried and we work on. Those chances didn't arrive. I remember one time Daho was on the left, higher on the left. He didn't cross, and why he was supposed to cross. One time we break the line. We were 3 versus 2, and it's a clear situation where we have to play the ball to the other two. There was Lucas and Ryan, and he tried to shoot from 25 yards, and and the shoot was blocked. One time Daho actually did what he was supposed to do in the second half. He dribbled, went at the end, and he crossed, but there was no one in the middle, and we have to have players there. So we need to be more on keep playing what we rehearse to do and the plan, because if we are in the right spot at the right moment and we do the right choice, the shot on targets and hence the goal are going to arrive.
Last thing for me, just what's the status of Brian White and Eric? Go ahead. Notice they didn't train yesterday.
So Eric is out, I think, for this week. He was doing just treatment. Brian he actually tested on the field, doing some exercise by himself. I have a meeting with the medical staff right after lunch, and they will tell me if he can be part of the training tomorrow. So we will know better tomorrow morning if he can be part of the squad Saturday or not.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks, JJ. We'll go to Joshua Griffiths.
Good afternoon, Van. How are you?
Very good, Josh. How are you?
Great, thank you. So, Columbus was able to score early, and Thomas Hasal had to make some big saves early against NYCFC. How important is it for the Whitecaps to come out with a quick start against Houston on Saturday?
Well, I think you're on point. It's important because the start set the tone for the game, and the fact that we didn't concede in the first 15 minutes, and we probably could have conceded, it was the fact that he gave us confidence to play and be, I would say, good in some moments, even very good against New York. So we need to be better. We need to be better. We need to. We actually thought about it. Times of warming up, when to talk with the player, everything. We are actually trying to be ready on everything and to be ready on the player. And we reminded the player that they need to be prepared not 10 minutes before the game, but the window to prepare the game is like kind of mentally start, I would say, at least 48 hours before. So all of us, players and staff, needs to be probably better in those minutes when we go towards the game.
So you mentioned it's like 48 hours before the match. How much work does the sports science program and the rest of the organization go into?
A lot.
Preparations.
A lot. When we talk about nutrition, we talk about sleep, we talk about all the treatment that someone needs to do. Everything needs to be done, I would say, perfectly, and we're trying to do it. We're doing it very, I would say, at our best capacity. In the period that I was in charge last year, starting the game well was, especially BC Place, was our strength, and it needs to become our strength again.
Well, awesome. Thank you very much, Ben.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh. We'll now go to Nathan from Area 51 Sports.
Hey, Vanni, how you doing today?
Very good, Nathan. How are you?
Not too bad. JJ kind of said it pretty succinctly when he said that we have a very small sample size so far to really evaluate the team. And you were talking about the issues that you're working on in training, especially when it comes to the build-up of play within trying to get into the final third and whatnot. Is it simply just a matter of consistency, being able to take what you've been working on in the preseason and having more time in actual gameplay situations to get that consistency rolling?
Yes and no. We worked a lot actually in preseason about it. I think that another thing is that we arrived at first game probably not 100%. As I said, that we were 75%. Maybe I was even too optimistic on saying that. And of course, playing with opponents of high level helps you refine the speed of play, the fact that you can't make mistakes, the fact that you be concentrated on every ball, and this actually lacked a little in the preseason. We had solid games, but against USL team, and even when we played against the Galaxy, they played kind of a mix between the first and the second team. So I think that Columbus has been a very, very good wake-up call, because it showed us that what we were doing at, I don't know, X speed, we needed to do it at 2.x speed. So that's and that's what we did against New York, and we keep doing. And I agree with you. Every game that we'll play, I want to see a growth, and the consistency, of course, will help.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nathan. We'll go to Sam Rowan.
Yeah, hi Vanni. Thanks for doing this. Hope you're well. I was just curious, through two matches, again, obviously small sample size, but how have you felt so far about Tahoe at the wingback position? Is that something that you feel like has worked so far, and is that something you're going to continue with going forward, or kind of thoughts on Tahoe's play and how you try to get the best out of it?
Yes, I think I liked him. Well, it's very small sample also because in Columbus after the red card we went back four, so he didn't play as a wing back. He played as a natural winger. So I would say we have the New York game like as a sample, and I think we saw a two faces Tahoe, not very good in the first half, very good in the second half, but he didn't feel, to be honest, 100% before the game, and I think that he needed time during the game to take away this, I would say, sensation of not feeling well, something that he ate, something that it wasn't helping him, and I think that that's the right position for Daho, and I'm giving you some tactical reason. Christian is one of the few players, probably our best players in the 1v1, and in terms of passing players around, passing player with the ball. And as a wingback, he can create those 1v1 situation on the side, dribbling the opposition fullback and go to cross. He's a player that has a very good engine. He can attack and defend, so he can do the up and down. And playing on the left, he can also cut in with the right foot and be a threat. When he plays as a striker, as one of the two strikers, I think that we are going to limit his capacity, because in terms of the intensity of the pressure, he's not his number one capacity. It's much more good to work vertically on the side, on the wide line, and I think that's gonna help us going forward to play one additional attacking player, and in this way we can even have more chances that we were talking before.
Great, thanks for the insight, Danny.
No problem.
Thanks, Sam. We've got one more from Michael McCall.
Ivan, just a quick follow-up to that. Like the decision to have Daho on the left and Christian on the right, I know they switched a couple of times, but it did feel a couple of times in the game that both of them, they did cut inside to try and get on their favoured foot. Is that just what's behind the thinking of switching them to the different sides that you'd maybe expect them to be on?
It's because I think that in the modern games, the fullback / wingback, they're always under pressure a lot on the sideline, and playing with the inverted foot, it helps them to play one touch over the line if they're under pressure, or bring the ball in like they both love. They both love to bring the ball in, Daho and Guti, and having at this time bringing the ball in two sides where to go, right or left, because now there's a little side also on the line. They're not on the line. Of course, I agree with you. That limits them on a pure crossing. But I think that's more pro than cons, because pure crossing probably they're gonna happen like 2 or 3 times, and we are gonna be a team that it doesn't want to cross too much in a classic cross. We love to do early cross and cutbacks, so you can do a cutbacks even with your opposite foot. And for the early cross, I think it's much more dangerous if you cut in and you play with your foot on the inside behind the line than with your natural foot.